Hi everyone, it's Vienna Tang. I am so excited to be coming back to Germany for a solo tour, which is the first time I've done a solo tour in Germany. I've usually had bandmates with me, as you may well know, and I love them all. With the solo tour, I have brought some, I guess you could say, bandmates with me, and I would like to introduce you so you know a little bit about them before we take the stage together. Of course, you know my faithful companion, a grand piano. I'll be playing different grand pianos, of course, at each venue, and it's always fun to have a new dance partner every night that I get to know during soundcheck. And of course, this is a vocal microphone, which just goes as a clean signal to the soundboard, and so this is sort of the acoustic station. But I've also added new things that I've enjoyed playing with as part of my live performance set, so I thought I'd mention it to you. A few of them you may have seen or heard before, and a few of them are new additions. The first thing that we added here was actually a Nord keyboard. I played a number of different kinds of Nord keyboards, but it's mostly for that beautiful Rhodes electric piano sound. I did play this, I think, in Germany on the Ames tour and perhaps occasionally on the Inland Territory tour, but it's definitely become a mainstay for me, which is wonderful. So this is a harmony, a vocal harmonizer box. Called the TC Helicon Harmony M. Unfortunately, they don't make them anymore, so I don't know what I'll do when I can't find any more working units of them. But I thought I would show you a few of the features. There's a microphone signal that goes into it, and then it processes it and goes out. And this extra cable is called a MIDI cable that connects to the keyboard. And the keyboard can do a number of interesting things. For example, depending on the chord I'm playing, it can make my voice create harmonies according to that chord. So, me and my baby driving down to a hilly seaside town in the rain fall. It's great. Auto harmonizing, it's like having very in tune backup singers. And so you can choose whether the harmonies are above and below you, or both below you, both above you. And you can also not use the keyboard signals at all, but rather just have an octave down, for example. I like to call this the very white button. And it just makes me very low sounding, which is quite fun. This is the harmony mix button, which shows how much of the harmony there is versus my natural voice. So as you can see, if I turn it all the way down, it's just me. And if I turn it all the way up, then it's just that. So that's a fun one to play with too. The last setting I thought I'd show you is the manual setting, which again comes back to using the keyboard. So then it basically takes my voice sound and recreates my voice on any of the notes on the keyboard. So that's how my song, The Hymn of Axum, gets created. Somebody hears you. You know that inside someone is learning the colors of all you, etc. So I've enjoyed this as an instrument very, very much. Also, of course, is our beloved looper. So I'll give you a quick tour of how my favorite looper works. This is really the only one I'm fully comfortable with still. I've experimented with other ones, but this is my favorite. It's Electro Harmonix 45,000, and basically it has 4 different channels, and I can select from between them. And it has an SD card, which means I can actually record a whole lot of things, for pretty long loops, which is quite nice when I'm trying to, for example, record an entire song and then play it back and do something else with it. And I usually am using it by connecting this vocal into here. So that's how I get, for example, so now, of course, it'll play back what I've done before. But you'll note that there are multiple channels. So I just recorded that onto channel 1. Now I can do different things on channel 2.
fading it out. So that's how I can create different sections of the song, which is quite nice for this kind of looping machine. This mixer is a new addition and still something that I have to tame once in a while. But basically it just allows me to send different things into this looper. So I can send the vocals in there, as I always have. But now I can send this keyboard into there as well, and record the keyboard into the looper, which is quite nice. And I can also send this drum pad, which is something that I learned to be interested in from Alex Wong, who is a percussionist, and so he played this on the English tour. And I have really enjoyed learning how to handle drumsticks. Etc. One of the new things that I now play on some songs. And speaking of Alex, here's the final part of this crazy setup, which is a mysterious instrument called the pipe, made by a company called Soma Labs that specializes in strange and cryptic instruments that are synthesizers. This one is a contact microphone, which means that it basically follows the signals of the vibrations in my lips, and then does things with it from there. So I'll give you a demonstration here. So that's one of the settings. You can also get some pretty wacky things like this one. One that I haven't used yet but I find quite fun is this one. So I'll have to figure out how to work that into a song sometime. There's also this one setting that I think of as the bubbles, and the manual only says, be careful. Once I turned it on, I realized why. So it's basically just screaming noise that you have to tame very carefully. Etc. That's the tour of all of the new instruments, band members, whatever you would like to call it, for the solo tour coming up in Germany, late February into March. I will see you there.